Let's look at this word problem. Chantal and Jean start hiking from a trailhead toward a fire tower. Jean is wearing a heavy backpack and walks slower. Chantal starts walking at 4 miles per hour, and halfway to the tower, the trail becomes really steep, and Chantal slows down to 2 miles per hour. After reaching the tower, she immediately turns around and descends the steep part of the trail at 3 miles per hour. She meets Jean at the halfway point. What is Jean's average speed in miles per hour until they meet? This problem may sound complicated and very verbose. However, if we draw a simple diagram, it will help us understand the whole story, and it may turn not that hard. Alright, let's do this. Since we know that Chantal travels at a certain speed to halfway, so let's call this is to halfway, right? Let's call this is from the trailhead, right? Let's call that H. And then she slows down at 2 miles per hour till reaching the tower. So let's call this tower. And don't forget, this is the halfway. And she first traveled at 4 miles per hour, and then she traveled at 2 miles per hour. Now, she turns around and returns to the midpoint, right, at 3 miles per hour, where she meets Jean. The question is, what's Jean's average speed till they meet? And as we know, for all such distance or speed kind of problems, we better not to do the calculation directly on the speed itself. It's very liable to make mistakes. So we always follow this formula that the speed equals the distance divided by time, or it's equivalent to the distance equals the speed times t. And you can write it in other ways, like t equals d divided by v. So, but that's okay. This is the formula we want to use, right? In order to do that, we have to set the distance one way or another. And a good thing about this is there are only 3 parts of all the travels, because there's one part that's this, from H to the midpoint, and then from midpoint to T, and then back to midpoint. Therefore, if we set the distance of this halfway, then we can compute the total travel time. So let half of the entire trail is x. So let distance of half of the trail is x. So this distance is x, right? Then the time that Chantal takes in the 3 segments is x divided by 4, and x divided by 2, and x divided by 3. Therefore, the total travel time is the sum of these 3 numbers. Since they meet right at the midway, so this is also the travel time of Jean, who travels at a much slower speed. Therefore, if we use the total travel distance of Jean, which is x, divided by the total time, that is Jean's speed, right? That is the speed of Jean. And don't worry about this x. As we see, we can easily cancel out this variable. Therefore, v equals 1 over 1/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/3. So let's do the summation first. So that's the denominator is 12. That's a common multiplier, right? And then that's 3 plus 6 plus 4. And this equals 1 over 13 over 12, which equals 12 over 13. This is the average speed that the gene travels. And A is our choice. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe the channel. If you have questions, please leave a comment.